Good morning. We're doing another devotional today. Today we're reading Colossians 3, verses 5 through 7. And they read, "Therefore put to death what belongs to your earthly nature, sexual immorality, impurity, lust, evil desire, and greed, which is idolatry. Because of these, God's wrath is coming upon the disobedient, and you once walked in these things when you were living in them." I really like this one. It spoke to me a lot. Paul talks about 5 areas in where we are to put to death sin. Those are his words. He talks about sexual immorality. In the Greek, he would have used the word porneia, which is a wide umbrella. It covers a lot of things. He talks about impurity, which can include our evil thoughts or actions. He talks about lust, which lends itself to a variety of inappropriate things, not just that under that porneia umbrella that we would normally think of. He talks about evil desire, which is us wanting something that we know is wrong. We know that it's wrong, yet we still want it. That's an evil desire. And then he talks about greed or covetousness, which he considered to be idolatry. And I don't disagree with him. But he warns that God's wrath is coming for those who don't put these things to death. But then he reminds them that as followers of Christ, those things are in the past. They're no longer living in them, meaning that they, the people who are following Christ, have been born anew. All of this reminded me a lot of 1 Corinthians 6, 9 to 11. A lot of people are probably familiar with that one. It's sort of the same. He gives a laundry list of sins that had a direct effect on their salvation. You'll hear scholars say that means they're salvific in nature. Salvific is just a word meaning it has an effect on their salvation. They can't be saved if they're living in that. But he finishes with good news, the good news of being washed clean, meaning that we no longer bear the stains that those sins put on us and those around us, right? We're not carrying that stain anymore. We're washed clean. He talks about being sanctified, being set apart from the rest of the world because we belong to Jesus. And he talks about being justified. Now, when you're justified in God's eyes, that's not just the same as being found not guilty. It's being able to say that you are no longer unrighteous as sinners, but instead you are righteous now because you belong to God. And all of that to say that it feels like the same theme that he's giving in 3:7. It's kind of a running theme, I think, in a lot of Paul's writings. He's writing to these churches who are struggling with a variety of things. But sin's a part of all of us. We can't fully escape it this side of heaven. But because we belong to Jesus, we have forgiveness, we have salvation. And we'll know this by the desire that we have to put to death these things. If the desire isn't there, then it's time to do some soul searching. But I knowing that that's even an option, knowing that I can put these things to death and be washed clean, be sanctified, be justified, knowing that's even an option is, I consider to be the greatest news I could ever hear. And so my prayer for everyone is that we'll hear this, we'll accept this gospel truth, we'll accept it and never look back.